So Benjamin Netanyahu looks like he's won a fifth term as the Israeli Prime Minister, which is unprecedented, record-breaking in Israel to have a Prime Minister win a fifth term in office. So I decided to compile some research, and you would have seen posts about this if you follow my Facebook page, 80 Social. I'll compile some research on the Israeli money that is prevalent in British politics and which is interfering in British politics and trying to shape British policy. Because it seems to be, whenever I talk about Israeli money, whenever I mention Israel using lobbying to influence British policy, I'm immediately called an anti-Semite, and other people who mention it are called anti-Semites. So this is all factual, this is all true information, you can look this up yourself. Israel directly influences BICOM, which is a pro-Israel lobbying group, right? And on their executive board there sits a man named Sir Trevor Chin, who funds Labour Friends of Israel, of which Tom Watson is a high-ranking member. The tycoon, Sir David Gerard, also funds Labour Friends of Israel, and he funds the Independent Group, and he funds Tom Watson also. Funds also travel between Trevor Chin to the Independent Group and Tom Watson. So Tom Watson is taking a lot of pro-Israeli money, and it's no wonder he's trying to undermine Corbyn, who is for the Palestinian people, who is for equal rights for Palestinians, for the right to return for the Palestinian refugees who have been forcibly kicked out of their homes. I want to read some quotes now from some quite prevalent Israeli politicians, past and present. Netanyahu himself, the man himself, said of the Palestinian people, "Beat them up repeatedly until it hurts so badly it is unbearable." Now I'm going to slightly paraphrase these because I didn't copy them word for word. Now the Minister of Justice, Aidet Shaked, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his names right, but apologies if I'm getting them wrong, said they should go in regards to the Palestinian people, as should the physical homes. Otherwise, more little snakes will be raised there. This is comparing human beings to animals. Former Defence Minister Musta Yalon said the Palestinian threat harbours cancer-like attributes that have to be severed. Now this is comparing human beings, the Palestinian people, to an illness, to a disease, to cancer specifically, a savage disease. He did go on to say that sometimes you can cut out the tumour, but he's trying to apply chemotherapy. So he tried to put a little light spin on it, but he said it nonetheless, and he made that comparison. Former Deputy Prime Minister Eli Yishai told the army, the Israeli Defence Force, the IDF, to send Gaza back to the Middle Ages. Right. Rabbi Eli Ben-Dahan said Palestinians are beasts, not human. Again, this comparison with animals is coming back to it. And perhaps the most shocking one from recent times, quite recently, the Israeli Minister of Culture, Miri Regev, said, "I am happy to be a fascist." How much more blatant do we want it? The Israeli system, the Israeli institution. This doesn't just come down to Netanyahu being a prick. Netanyahu is vicious. Yes, he's violent. He hates Palestinians with every bone in his body. But it's not just him. It's an institutional problem. When they signed the Balfour Declaration in 1948 and gave that land to the Israeli people, to the Jewish people, they failed to take into account the fact that human beings, Palestinians, were already living there. That is what's caused the problem. The problem was caused, we've seen it time and time again, with Australia, with America. When there's people living in a land that someone else is claiming, there will be conflict. And this kind of rhetoric, this kind of thinking starts to take hold. And now it is so strong in Israel that even any criticism of it, anytime you say Israel is anti-Palestinian, Israel is a racist state, it is a racist state from what we've just heard, a fascist state from the last statement. Anytime you say that, you're called an anti-Semite. We need to stop branding people anti-Semites who are purely only interested in Palestinian rights and the Palestinian right to return and the Palestinian right to have a dignified life, because that is what this is about. It's not about hating Jews. It's not about hating Jewish people or hating Jewish culture. It is purely about the fact that Israel hates Palestinians. It kills Palestinians indiscriminately. Israeli bombs can't differentiate between a Hamas fighter or even a Hamas supporter and a baby and a child, a little girl, a little boy, a woman, a pregnant woman. It can't differentiate between any of those. When Israel sends its planes, when it drops white phosphorus, when it violates the Geneva Convention, when it violates repeated United Nations resolutions, they have no way of knowing the people they're killing, harassing, raping, pillaging, dropping bombs on, destroying their homes, their schools, their mosques. They have no way of knowing that those people even support Hamas. They have no way of knowing that those people voted for Hamas. But they don't care, because for them, every single Palestinian life, man, woman, child, baby, pregnant mother, hard-working father, they're all fair game. They don't care. Ken Loach has said if you go to Israel, if you go to the Gaza Strip, you can see the difference in the Israeli roads, brand new highways, cars roaring up and down, and you see the dirty old dusty trail of the Palestinian roads. And it is clearly people living under two sets of rules. So we need to let go of this idea that anybody who criticises Israel, anybody who says Israel is a violent state, a warlike state, a terrorist state, an apartheid state, let go of this idea that they're anti-Semitic. They are not. Yes, of course, anti-Semitic people will not support Israel, of course, because it's a state set up for the Jewish people. So of course they're not going to support that. They're anti-Semitic. But that does not mean that people who criticise Israel are by default anti-Semitic. No, that's ridiculous. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.